Hey guys, it's Archon. Welcome to Inferno Friday. This week we got a couple blue posts and a tweet from Blizzard that I wanted to share with you guys. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing I want to show you guys is this blue post from Wyatt Chang. It was posted on a forum thread discussing whether or not they would fix black damage in Reaper of Souls. First of all, if you don't know what black damage is, it's a weapon that does not have elemental damage added to it. It only has minimum and maximum damage added to it, and therefore the background is black, as opposed to a weapon that had fire damage added to it, where the background would be red and different for every elemental type. But black damage weapons are the best weapons right now for two reasons, and both those reasons turn out to be bugs. One bug is causing black damage weapons to do more damage than they should. There's just a bug that's making the maximum damage be added to the minimum damage more than it should. It's kind of complicated, but anyway, all the black damage weapons do more damage, as you might have noticed when you're perusing the auction house. The other bug is to adding percent of an elemental damage. You might have noticed from items like the Triumvirate or Zuni boots or SOJs, any item that adds a percentage of elemental damage just adds that much damage to all of your black damage. So if you have a black weapon and you add 8% poison damage, you just get 8% extra damage to your character sheet. You're doing 8 extra percent damage to everything, and that's not how it's supposed to work. For example, if it says adds 8% poison damage, it's supposed to add 8% damage to all of your poison damage, which is what you would probably assume it meant, and probably what you did assume it meant the first time you read it. Well, Wyatt Chang has let us know that they're going to be fixing both of those bugs in Reaper of Souls, which I think is a good thing. They say they're not going to touch any of the items that are currently in the game, so if you're not getting the expansion or for some other reason you just want to keep the items you have right now, don't worry, they won't be touched when Loot 2.0 comes out, but all the drops that drop after Loot 2.0 will have the bug fixed, which I think is pretty cool because it means you can specialize in a certain type of damage. And I assume that would mean that if you had a weapon that had fire damage on it, that fire damage would be increased by items that add percent of that percent fire damage, and same for any other elemental type. And I think that's really cool, the idea of being able to specialize in a certain elemental type, and it makes a lot more weapons viable, because right now everyone just wants black damage weapons, no one wants elemental damage weapons, and they've told us that these elemental types are actually going to have different effects in Reaper of Souls, which is awesome. Not just chill from Frostbolt, will probably actually have different effects from each of the weapon types. So I think it'd be really cool, especially as a wizard, being able to specialize in just one elemental damage type and then gear around that and choose skills around that. I'm really excited about that, and it'll open up a lot more possibilities in Loot 2.0. So thank you, Wyatt Chang, for that update. Next up, I wanted to show this Twitter post from Josh Mosquera. He posted on Twitter, complete the following statement: trading means insert comment to D3. So people have been responding to this, what trading means to them. It doesn't look like there's many responses, so if you guys have opinions, you should post it. There's a link in the description to all of these posts, so you can check this out, give your opinion. It looks like they're really trying to get feedback as to how important trading is to players and what they really like about trading. And there's no surprise that they're asking about feedback for this, because they are removing the auction house, which means that the only way to trade items is going to be person to person. But that also opens up a lot of different problems. Third-party websites can sell items. People might feel obligated to go to third-party websites to do their trading. And then once again, we have the same problem the auction house caused, except for it's off the auction house. So there's a lot of solutions. You can make items soul-bound. You can make it so you can only enchant self-found items. A couple other solutions as well, but that would limit trading. So it seems like the devs really want to understand what's the important part of trading, what do we need to keep in the game, and what can we get rid of to facilitate this idea of finding your own items instead of being forced to trade for them or buy them with real money. So I think it's really important, if you have some feedback, give it here. I really hope that they do something to encourage people to find their own items, even though that does mean limiting trading. I think it's just a little bit more important that you're finding your own gear than that you're able to trade. But of course, they're going to be keeping trading in the game in at least some form, and this should help them decide what that form is. So it's really cool to see that they're reaching out to the community still, and Josh Mosquera, I think, is doing a good job with that tweet. I'm excited to see what comes of that. The last blue post I wanted to share with you guys, I was a little disappointed in. It's from Nevelistus, who is the new community manager, just started. And Nevelistus is responding to someone who's complaining that in the console version there's tons of duped and created items. He talks about a weapon that has 3 sockets and rings that have 12 properties. I haven't played the console version enough to see this, but I've heard it's really bad. People are duping items and hacking items like crazy, and it's just all over the console version. Now, Nevelistus does respond to this and says, while exploring ways to discourage exploitative behavior is something we're continuing to do, so thank you for your reports, players appear to be enjoying their battles through Sanctuary and finding great loot along the way. Based on feedback we've received, we believe this experience has more value than simply copying another person's set of gear. And while I assume that Nevelistus is trying to make us feel like it's not that big of a deal and we can still have fun, it's not what we want to hear in times like this. This kind of reminds me of early Diablo 3 when the D3 team would say things like, we're happy with the state of the game and we understand there's issues with it, but the game's really fun, right? And it's not what we want. When we complain about the game, we want sympathy. We want to know that the D3 team cares as much as we do with these problems, and that things that are a big deal to us are also a big deal to them. So when we get responses like this, which to me sounds like, yeah, you can cheat, but it's more fun not to cheat, right? It doesn't feel good. It feels like they don't think it's a big deal. So I don't think Nevelistus meant any harm by this, but I think there could have been a better response. I think saying, yes, this is a big problem. Duping and hacking is out of control on console. We're doing everything we can to fix it. We're sorry about this. We know it does hurt the game, and we don't want that, so we're going to do whatever we can. Even though it might mean the same thing, even though the dev team's probably trying as hard as they can, either way, the response means a lot to us. And we want to know that we're being heard and that they think it's just as important as we do. But let me know what you guys think. If you leave a comment below, you'll have a chance to win 50 million gold on either EU or US, your choice. Last week's winner was Enlightened Skedgetair. I'm not sure how I pronounced that. He said Moldrin did it better. So there you go. Some proof that I do actually randomly choose these comments. But anyways, Enlighten, to claim your 50 million gold, all you have to do is message me on YouTube, or if you're not able to, message me on Twitch instead. I'll have you prove it's you on YouTube, and then I'll get you your 50 million gold as soon as possible. Before I end the video, I just want to remind everyone that this Sunday, October 6th, we'll be having a 12-hour-long charity event on my live stream that's linked below. We're going to be running people through Ubers and power leveling them in exchange for donations to charity. So I'm hoping to raise a lot of money for charity and help a lot of people get through Ubers or to level their characters. So don't miss it. Again, the link's in the description. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll have another one for you soon.